Hello and a warm welcome to my channel. On today's episode, Keep It Real, it's all about oversharing. But before we jump into the topic of today, are you new in my channel? Well, if you're new in my channel, please do consider subscribing for more content on health, family, lifestyle, fun, and everything in between. I do upload my videos on Mondays and Wednesdays, so make sure that you do subscribe down there and click that ngling button so that anytime I get to put up my video, you'll be among the first people to be notified on the videos that I would have already uploaded. And to the returning subscribers, thank you so much for your immense support. We are at 700 plus subscribers, and I'm so grateful to the Almighty God, and I'm so grateful also to you, my audience, for making this happen. So let's dive into the topic. Are you guys ready? I know some of us are asking ourselves, oversharing. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Well, if you're doing something, please grab your seat, grab your popcorns, sit down, and let's hear this interesting topic, because I'm not doing it alone, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let us join our hands together for my amazing guest. Yay! So, guys, I have my friends who are going to help me shed light on matters oversharing. You know, most of us love sharing details with every person we meet. Today you meet person A, he or she knows everything about you. The next time, the next minute you meet another person and he or she already knows everything about you. Bearing in mind that we human beings are social creatures, we can't deny that fact. But again, is oversharing something to be proud of? So let's get to hear what is oversharing.
Oversharing is when someone reveals an excessive amount of personal information, often in a social or professional setting, which may be considered inappropriate or uncomfortable for the audience.
So in my opinion, oversharing inamaanisha uko na information or uko na plans in your life that you want to accomplish, but you go ahead and share them with a lot of people, not just one. You share it with a lot of people, or you can't basically hold an information to yourself. So that is what oversharing means according to me.
Hi, oversharing, it's when you tell people too much. You talk too much about your personal info. Too much about your personal information to people. I use the one too much. When you tell people about your personal info, it's sharing. When you tell them too much, it's oversharing.
Like unatangaza kabla utimize mambo ambayo unataka kuyatimiza. So for instance, I want to travel. I plan to go abroad, but I have not even worked on my visa to go abroad. So it's not even guaranteed that I'm going abroad, because a visa you can be denied a visa, so that means you're not going to whatever place you wanted to go. But then I had gone ahead and shared it with the people that I'm traveling before I even confirmed that indeed I'm going there. So that is oversharing to me. You plan on doing something, and then before you even do it, you share it with the people. Nowadays people don't keep a secret there. So the moment you share it with one person, this person will also look for another person and share it with them.
What are some of the things that makes us either overshare or maybe undershare the information that was meant to be kept to us alone? So here are the reasons as to why people do overshare their personal information with every other single human being they meet.
So, what are the reasons as to why someone might be oversharing? One, seeking attention. They just want to seek attention by talking and talking. And the only thing they can talk about is themselves. You talk and talk non-stop. Number two, feeling insecure. Yeah? You feel insecure, and the only way to to feel better is to talk about yourself. Insecurity, okay? Number 3, some people lack boundaries, okay? They don't know when to stop. They don't know when that information is too much. So they tend to talk and talk and talk. Number 4, I think, is it number 4 or 3? Desire to connect to other people in a deeper level. You want to connect with people, and the only way how you know how to do that is by talking about yourself, which is actually incorrect. You can connect to other people in so many different ways rather than talking about your personal life, personal information that they don't need to know. The last and not the least, actually it's the main point, it's mental health issues. Some people tend to overshare because of that. So why do you need to overshare? Because of mental issues, health issues. That is the main reason. Some people, they have the tendency of oversharing because they experienced trauma as kids. You didn't grow in an and this actually happens to a lot of people, especially in our society. The Africanism, is that a word? I don't know. In Africa, where parents do not create a conducive environment where their kids can sit with them and talk like, hey, I have this and this going on in my life. This is how I feel. So we do not have that. So you are taught to pile up emotions. You piled up since you were a kid. You went through a trauma as a kid. Something happened. You didn't talk about it. You didn't know how to process it. And now you have had these emotions built up in your mind, built up in your heart, everything, the pain, the fear. It can be emotional pain, it can be physical pain. You like all those negative emotions now, and the frustration. And now you are a grown up, and you get this person, a friend, a partner, or a colleague who can sit with you and listen to you. Then you tend to just let everything out, okay? Because this is the only time in your entire life that you can talk. So every time this person makes a new friend, that is the only way he knows. He talks about themselves. He talks about everything. They don't know when to stop. They don't know when it's too much. Childhood trauma.
Is oversharing a good thing or a bad thing? If at all it is a good thing, then let us know why do you think it is important for someone to overshare. And if you think it's a bad thing also, I'd like to hear from you. Maybe if we start with you, Joanne.
So on the disadvantages, my take about oversharing, on one hand, it has a positive impact, and on another hand, it has a negative impact in that pengine you have a plan, unataka maybe hata kujenga nyumba, and then you share it with somebody, and this person might have ideas that might help you in this project. So it will be a positive impact because they will impact you with some knowledge that you didn't have, or they will equip you so well with regards to whatever you plan to do. But again, on a negative side, you share with somebody and perhaps this person is not happy for you. They're not happy for you, or they're jealous of you. So they will go ahead of you and interfere with your plans. They will interfere with your plans. Something like most of the people don't like posting their achievements on social media, or rather things that they go through on social media. So maybe I'm expecting, and in my own opinion, I don't want it to be so much on social media. Not even so much. I don't want it to be on social media at all. And then I go and share with somebody, maybe somebody that is not even close to me. They get to know that I'm expecting, and being that I don't want to share it on social media, they will go ahead and post it before I even post it. So now the public has the information that you didn't want them to have. That is the negative part.
Oversharing can either be good or bad, depending on the context and the individuals involved in. So, in some situations, sharing personal details can foster trust and deepen relationships. However, in other situations, excessive sharing of information can make others feel uncomfortable or overwhelmed about it. It's important to find a balance and be mindful of the appropriateness of the information being shared in different contexts.
So, sharing personal information can be healthy, right? Yeah, you share a lot of things that can be healthy. But when you overshare them, that is when we need to ask ourselves, why do we feel the need to do that? Yeah. So, what can oversharing cause? Oversharing can cause cyberbullying. You share a lot of your personal information on social media. A lot. We know when you wake up, we know when you sleep, we know what you eat, when you eat, at what time. We know your family, we know who does this, who doesn't do this. When you go on a trip, we know everyone does. That is, you share everything on social media. That can cause cyberbullying. Actually, it can also put your whole family in a trouble. Why? They all know where you come from, your parent, your siblings, and they also can experience cyberbullying because it's not just you. You're also putting your family at risk. Another thing, it's have you ever seen someone went on a trip, you posted that you're going a 3-day trip, and when you come back, nothing is left in your house. Everything is stolen. Why? We know where you live. Everyone does. Your house number. You told us in social media that you're leaving for 3 days. So people had a whole day to plan, a whole day to execute the plan, and another day to relax. So everything was stolen because you told people where you stay, your street, your house number, and you're going. So don't blame the thief. You overshared.
Again, maybe so people are not so good in this world. You can literally not trust everybody. Yeah, I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. You basically can't trust everybody, and people are so wicked. So somebody can work on a wicked manner to interfere with your plans or to interfere with something that you've really worked on and you've really sacrificed a lot to see it come to a success. So I'd rather not share. Like, okay, back then I used to overshare. I literally used to share with people whatever plans that I had. And each time I shared these plans, they never succeed. In fact, the moment I share it, pew, just like that, that's the end of it. So the moment I learned not to overshare things that I want to do, I started seeing things moving so well in my life. And that is what I've really chosen of late. So I just don't want to overshare. I don't want to literally share. Let me just put it like that. Let me just work on that thing first so that the rest of the people can see the results. Because the moment I share and tell somebody that I want to do this and this, I literally don't do it at all. I don't do it. But the moment I just decide to do it on my own without sharing with anybody, it moves so swiftly.
Okay,
So
I really loved the point that Loina had mentioned earlier, the desire to connect with other people on a deeper level. I'll call that attachment. That is when you feel like you want to be needed somewhere. You want, I don't know if actually it's the correct term, but that urge to be needed, that urge to fit in, that urge for looking for other people to make you feel better, to make us feel better. So someone maybe is wondering, how do I stop oversharing? Sometimes things just flow out of my mouth and I end up regretting, why did I overstep my boundaries? So, a good question. How do we fix this problem of oversharing?
So, what are the things that can be done to ensure that you're not oversharing? Number one, if the information is too personal, just keep it offline. We don't need to know, especially if you're sharing online. If the information is too personal, have some boundaries with whoever you're talking to and just think, am I saying too much? Do they need to know this? What are the effect of that?
So most of the things that happen to us in our lives is as a result of oversharing. So I really don't think if it's a good thing, in my own opinion. I don't think if it's a good thing. Let's just learn to keep some things to ourselves. And also, let's also learn what to share with who. And at what range are you supposed to go when sharing some information? Because in this current life, you share with somebody something that is so dear to you that you wouldn't want a third party to hear or to get a glimpse of it. But the moment you fall out, this information is literally going to be used against you. So you be in a place that you can even fall into depression because of the information that you shared, which you ought to have not shared at all.
So, ladies, having said that, ladies and gentlemen, it is important to know that there are certain things that do happen in our lives, and it is important that we keep them to ourselves, or rather, tell those ones that are in our inner circle, in that kitchen cabinet only. And I will agree with what Joanne had also talked about earlier, saying that there are certain things when you just tell people. And she even mentioned that she used to overshare in the sense that whenever she shares something about her, they end up not happening. So I'd like to share with you 5 things that you need to keep them to yourselves. Number 1, it is your goals. So it is important you announce them when things are done. Nilipenda venye alisema ni vizuri sijui unatangaza kabla haija Joan. Hey, Swahili. Siku hizi umekuwa Mswahili by the way. So sharing your goals, like when you share your goals, they're less likely to happen. So it is important that you keep them to yourselves, or rather, you can do this. If you know that you have that tendency of sharing, just do it with your journal, a pen and a paper. Note them down and place them in a certain corner in your room where you can be able to see them, because that way you'll be able to work on them and see how you can achieve that. 2 things that you need to keep them to yourself, it is your relationship, because those are the things that maybe you and your partner need to know. So there are certain things that, let's say, the reason as to why we share whatever that happens to us more so in relationship is when we get into fights with our significant other. So it is important that when they do happen, just learn to keep them to yourselves, because sitaki kuchoma, but it is important that we keep them to ourselves. Those are special bonds that whatever that is happening, don't go washing your dirty linens in public. That's the point. Number 3, your finances. Even if you're struggling financially, just keep it to yourself, because you go up telling people how you're doing financially. Do you know what happens? They take advantage of you. And another thing, like sharing, people are jealous. So I've told you this is what I get. You're not happy for me because you might be thinking that someone is happy for your success and your progress when in real sense they are not. So your finances are among the things that you need to keep them to yourselves. Number 4, your problems. Oh my gosh, I'm a rapper. You need to keep your problems to yourselves. No one cares whatever that you're going through. So it is very important that you keep your problems to yourself. So someone once said, it is a quote, never tell anyone your problems, because 80% don't care. and the other 20% are glad you have them. So we have people who can clap and even cheer when you are rock bottom. So not everyone is glad, not everyone is happy to see you doing good for yourself. They like seeing you having problems here and there, changamoto tu hapa na pale. It's what they wish you continue having them. Number 5, your weaknesses. You have your weaknesses, avoid oversharing, because you know what? The enemy can use it against you. People can use them against you and also try in a manner that fixing you in a tough situation. Yeah, people will use them against you and even use your weaknesses to put you in a tough situation that you cannot be able to come out of it. So just keep shut. And lastly, secrets. Yeah? You know, when you have secrets and maybe you have you have overshared with someone whom you end up regretting, why did I even end up sharing that particular information with him or her? So hapo ndo pale unapatanga, did you hear about this? Oh, she said about this. So there's certain things that just learn to keep them to keep those things to yourself. There are so many, but I just chose those 5 things to share with you guys.
Let's just learn not to overshare. Let's just learn to keep some things to ourselves, or rather, if you have somebody that you trust that is so dear to you that you know, come what may, they will never share your secrets, or they will never share your plans to the third party without your consent, then you can just go ahead. But you can never trust anybody, actually. You can never trust anybody 100%. Let's normalize sharing things that even if they leak out to some people, it won't affect us in a big way. It won't make us fall into depression. Yeah. Thank you.
So my advice to those who overshare is that before sharing your personal information, ask yourself, why am I doing it? Is it to seek validation or connect with others or something else? So understanding your motivation can help you gauge whether it's appropriate to share or not. It's also appropriate to establish clear boundaries for what you're comfortable discussing with. Practice saying, like, I prefer not talking about this, or redirect your conversation to a neutral topic. Another thing is that instead of focusing on sharing your own experiences, actively listen to others. This can help you gauge the appropriate and level of detail to share in responses. Like, avoid sharing too much information. Be mindful of oversharing information or intimate details, especially with friends or in professional setting. Reserve this for close relationships. Like in a professional setting, it's not right to overshare your details from home or what. Like, another thing is that you consider the context. Tailor your level of disclosure to the situation. For example, personal matters may be more suitable in private conversation with close friends or family rather than in a public forum.
So, guys, as we wind up, there is need for you to keep your mouth shut, especially when you have a blessing, because you know what? Not everyone likes you, because you have to know you can't please everybody, and you're not a hero to each and every person that you meet. And 2, you have to understand that the enemy is out there to get you. So when God blesses you, learn to keep your mouth shut. So I know I don't know everything, but I want to know what you think about this particular video. Have you, or are you struggling with oversharing? How did you fix it? Let me know in the comment section below, and you can also give me suggestions on which topics you want me to talk about in the comment section below. Let's keep the conversation going, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.